Hello and welcome to another episode of buying crap at auction and possibly making mistakes in doing so. This was bought online without being able to see it in person. They had a couple pictures, but it's at an auction that doesn't specialize in this kind of thing, so there's very little information, and what information is there is likely incorrect. But the quad is a Honda TRX400. It's all, basic wear and tear, but nothing like really beat on or budgetly fixed or whatever. It seemed to be fairly untouched. But in any case, we're going to dig into it, figure out what we are dealing with, and kind of formulate a game plan. From what I gathered so far, the original owner either passed and their estate donated it, or they just donated themselves to the auction, and that's where I bought it from. It looks to be fairly stock. It doesn't look to be bodged together or cheaply maintained or whatever. It seems to be kind of more or less untouched. Obviously not running, needed a battery. Aside from the awful McDonald's color scheme, which if I keep it for myself, I'll change. It's pretty good. I'll start off with this, going through it real quick just to find anything that needs to be addressed or just kind of put the story together. We have an oil cooler and then an oil reserve. There's oil in it and it's fairly clean, but it's not a lot. Let me just make sure that's right. I think this thing takes about 2 quarts. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, it is just at the end of the stick. That's not great. I'm gonna put it in gear and just see if it rotates the engine over, because we might have a seized engine. Because I don't want to bump it with the starter. Actually, I guess I could just do that. Okay, let's just turn the key. So the neutral light's on. Let me just see if the clutch works. Okay, in gear, clutch in. Okay, clutch works. I think that clutch will need some adjustment. It's like you squeeze it fully and it doesn't engage, and then you just squeeze it just a tad bit more and then it actually disengages. So I think that probably needs, oh, I can adjust that. Okay, let's just do that real quick. The clutch feels better. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, okay. Oh, what? Okay, let's give it a second and try to start it outside then. That's kind of amazing, actually. I don't know how it just coughed to life. Let's check the gas tank. For it to just cough, oh God. Oh, that's foul. Let me get a light look in there. I don't want to though. For it to cough to life like that, I would think maybe the gas might be okay, but going off a scent, it's terrible. Well, the tank is mostly empty. What is that? Is that sludge or discoloration? I don't know. There's chunks of crap in here, but it looks like broken down gas crap, not like leaves and stuff. There's like a black puddle, and find out if that's like tar or just discoloration. Oh, it's gonna stink up the shop. It smells terrible. Let's see. Ew. That's disgusting. Okay, that tank's gonna have to come out here and get cleaned. That's horrific. So luckily the petcock has been off. I hope the whole time it was in storage, and that way the carb is not ruined. But knowing how it normally goes, that carb's gonna be replaced or rebuilt. It's gonna be bad. It doesn't have fuel in it currently, but we're just gonna give it some starting fluid and just see what it does. It's got oil in it now, so that's all good. Let's pop them off. Oh, that's gross. Filter's deteriorated. I can poke through it, it's bad. Okay, I'm not even gonna run that filter, because it's just gonna suck up all of that shit into the engine. It's not only is it all collapsed in on itself, it's like, oh God, it's gummy. It's so, there's mold in here. How have you done this? Nope, oh my God. Well, that's so fucking bad. The base of the filter just ripped off of the rest of it. The material's it's just gone. Oh, there's like a 1/4 inch of sludge that I think was previously filter at the bottom of this airbox. It's so bad. This is literally the worst air filter I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen foam turn back into petroleum byproduct. The drain is just fully clogged with gunk foam material. So that's an ideal scenario. 45 minutes later, cleaning garbage out. Okay, let's just see if it runs. Okay, choke closed. Easy enough. Yep, we are leaking oil. Where are we leaking? Okay, there's a hole in the case where a bolt used to be. It's just gone entirely. That would explain why it was low on oil, because that bolt goes somewhere. Oh, that sucks, because that's the drain bolt. The drain bolt's broken. So we're not running that long. Let me get the camera down here so you can see what I'm looking at. So tank has to come off and cleaned. Carb might have been saved. And engine has a hole in it. So right there is the drain bolt, or a drain bolt. And the neck that the drain bolt used to sit in has been broken off. There's enough material there that I could probably tap and thread that remaining hole and put a bolt in there. I think I'll try that first, just tap it and hope I can get a plug to fit in there. It's not like the case is cracked. It was like an exterior neck that the drain plug was in that is broken off. So it's not like the engine's toast. Gonna just plug that real quick. I wanna hear it run again. It sounded healthy, but we now found out why it was parked. Here, I just wanna hear it again and make sure it's fine before I commit to fixing this. In the front here, it looks pretty good. I mean, the rotor doesn't have any grooves into it. Looks pretty good. It doesn't have surface rust on it, which is surprising considering I think this thing's been sitting for a good while. Back's smooth. All the castle nuts have cotter pins and they've been there a long while. No split boots. I mean, surface rust, but whatever. And you know, the rims need polishing, but really not too bad whatsoever there. The story so far I'm thinking is either someone passed or the thing just sat a lot, but indoors, because if this was outside or at least exposed to moisture, I feel like there'd be a bunch of surface rust on it for how long it sat, which again, we don't really even know it sat other than like the overall just condition. Like, it just doesn't seem like it was ridden much. And as such, I would imply that it sat a lot and it could be months, years, I don't even know. We have I think this is a factory toolkit, but there's nothing in it. This brake light looks to be factory, but doesn't work. Okay, power. Is there a light switch? No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, look at that. Is it only? Okay, it doesn't get brighter when you brake, so it's just on. Okay, that's fine. Random wire, random zip ties, random string, dirt, like the standard stuff. I mean, the frame's okay. It's not super great, but it doesn't look tweaked. Cut this trash off. I don't know what was on here because they had tape residue too. They had like a stupid little charm or something on the back. All the tires seem pretty good. I don't know if these have dates or not. Okay, tires are from '06, and the side facing outwards has text on it that says side facing inwards. So I think these tires are directional and I think they're on backwards. Let's see about this side. Hold on. Yep, side facing outwards. Both rear tires are backwards. So chain, obviously, like I said, I think it's a 520 chain. It looks like garbage. No, that's toast. What is this? That is broken. Is it stripped or just gone or what? Huh. Oh, no, the bolt snapped off. So, steel bolt into aluminum, which means when I try to drill it, the drill bit's gonna walk into the aluminum instead and not end well. So, that's great. I'm told it's pretty common the carrier bearings fail back here. I guess it's just a common failure point. Exhaust insulators, fine. Everything's fine. How is that possible? What is this? Where does that go? That's not attached to like anything up there. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, mine's not like that anymore. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to tweak back in place. Oh, like literally all of them are ripped on this. Oh yeah, that's good. That's exactly what you want. 2 of the 4 bolts are gone. One is ripped half through and the other one's totally fine. So that needs to go down there. And then this goes over there. This is gonna take a while to like mangle it back into place. Brakes, albeit kind of crunchy. Oh, it looks like honey and it smells not great, but there is fluid in it. So I'll probably just suck out what's there, fill it up with fresh stuff and then bleed it eventually. They do already work. Okay, now that the quad is clean, it actually cleaned up really well, despite me not actually putting any effort into cleaning it. Even the chain came back around pretty well. I was kind of happy with that. It's still gonna get replaced, but it was just nicer to not have to deal with a bunch of grunge every time I touch anything on the quad. For now though, we're gonna pull the tank. It'll give me better access to the carb, which I'm still gonna pull off and just clean, but I think, well, rather I hope the carb is fine. The tank is, however, not fine and does have to come off regardless. That way I can clean it on the bench. For the drain plug, all I did was I just tapped the remaining aluminum with M12 thread. It's not the right answer. I really gotta have someone weld on a new bung. In any case, it's an okay temporary solution. I just didn't want to show it. That way no one will mimic me because it's not the right answer. So we'll get the plastics back off and get access to the tank and also drip water onto the camera. That's phenomenal. Yeah, everything's fine. Don't look at it. Okay. Is there something else? No, just that. Okay. Okay, it'll find its way home. That's fine. Same with that one. Just toss it wherever. That might be it. It might just be 2 straps and 2 10 mils. That'd be easy, but it seems too easy. So now that we found why it was parked, I am hopeful that everything else is fine. It didn't sound like they heard it too bad. I didn't hear knocking. I didn't hear any sort of valve clatter or anything like that, but I'm hoping that means they didn't drive it for another half hour until it started making noise and then realized it was an issue. I hope that they realized quickly and acted accordingly, but that's kind of a long shot. Oh look, more dirt and standing water and a mouse nest in the snorkel. Well, I'll get this stuff cleaned up real quick, get the tank ready to be cleaned out. Airbox might have to come out for this. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping there's enough wiggle room in the accordion portion of it that it doesn't, but you never know. There we go. Okay, we'll pop off the bowl. The other up. It's leaking crap. Okay, hold on. Okay, so inside the carb looks great. There's a little bit of crap right in the trap at the bottom of the carb, which is perfect because that's where it's supposed to be trapped. So we're just gonna, I don't know where that goes. How does that go in anywhere? I don't know, I'll figure that out in a second, but everything looks really good in here. That's awesome. It's probably the first time I didn't have to rebuild a carb. You can kind of see the black tar down in there. You see the shiny glimmer, that's that. So I'll just pull this bottom drain bolt and clean it out. So the tank's been sitting for a couple hours with tank degreaser in it, just a little bit, enough to get the residual crap off the bottom of the tank. It doesn't seem like the tank was very full when it was sitting. It seems to be all liquefied now. Even if the valve was closed, I'm hoping that means that the valve still works. But we're gonna find out. Otherwise I gotta pour it out the top. And from what I can see inside, it's gritty brown garbage. So there might have to be a second. There might be something actually solid in there too. I don't know which one's on, so let's just find out. Not that one. Yeah, no, petcock's clogged. So we're gonna unbolt the petcock now and drain it that way instead. Yep, coming up with garbage. So let's see. Yep, that went in clear, like it was more of a champagne color, just a clear kind of yellow tinted color. Now it's brown tar and it smells like, ugh. I was gonna say it smells accordingly, but that doesn't really do it justice. Oh, there's the chunks. There's no fuel filter on this quad either. There might have been one in the petcock, but it's since deteriorated. So I'm probably just gonna do a second flush. I don't wanna risk just throwing fuel in it now and hoping for the best. Let's see if we can clear out this petcock real quick too, so that I can use it next time. Yeah, there was a filter here. It's gone though. Okay, or one of those. Wow, it was brass, it looks like. This old fuel ate through brass. That's kind of nuts actually. I might have to order a new petcock. I don't think this one's gonna make it. I'm gonna put some more degreaser in it, shake it up again, do this again, and hope it turns out better than the first round did, because that's not ideal. You can't really see it right here, but I'm gonna go and replace the plug. We're in here, we might as well just do it, and I have no record of when it was previously last done. The factory plug is DPR8Z. I also had to go buy a thin wall 18 mil just to get in there. And so not super great, a little dark. I feel like they were running it on the old fuel for a little while or something because it's kind of gummy. When I found the factory part number, it said it was an NGK part, so either that information's wrong or this plug's been replaced. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and replace it with the one I showed you and get it all back together. I also got another flush through the gas tank, and I bought a new petcock. The original one just was not savable. To buy a factory one was like $70, so I bought a aftermarket one, which was like $14. And you can see how much is missing. Like, assuming this is accurate, that's how much is dissolved. And the filter is too tall. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, actually. I think I might just cut it. I think this one just goes in with slidey clips forward. The tank still smells, but it looks to be fairly clean. Okay, so I got a new air filter. I was going with like middle of the road, not the cheapest, which is a high flow, and the part number is HFF1023. So we're just gonna stick that in there. Couple things I did with off camera because it just wasn't worth filming. Got the rear brakes and the front brakes, all the fluid drained out, new stuff put in and bled, so they're good to go. These footrests, the little plastic things, were all like mangled and not really installed right, and a couple of the screws were missing, and I also damaged some removing the rest. So got those installed with new hardware and untwisted up the metal framing that holds them in place. So that's all good. Like I said earlier, I'm going to run this engine with the oil that's in it. I just put in about a quart of fresh stuff and then some Marvel and then the residual old stuff. We're gonna run it for like, I don't know, 5 or so minutes. Once it has enough time to like mix up any contaminants that are in there, then we'll change it with proper fluid and proper filter. So that's the part number for the factory oil filter. And then we're gonna just do the 1040 wet clutch specific stuff. And I think it's 2 quarts or like 1.9 quarts to do that. And then the chain, like I mentioned, it's just garbage. So I just replaced it. This is, again, middle of the road one. O-ring chain, it's decent. 520 chain, but it's 94 link in case you need that information. Also, the parts and information will be in the description as well in case I talk too quickly or the camera doesn't pick up the numbers or whatever. I don't remember where the master link is. I don't really see it. Nope, that's not it. This chain's so gummy, it's really hard to see anything. Well, I'm gonna roll around a little bit until I can find that, because I don't know where it is. Well, that was stupid. I could have sworn I found a master link earlier when I looked at it, but I was wrong. It also turned out that chain was an RK chain, which may have been replaced and not have been factory. I don't know. Either way, I ended up bending the dowel on my chain removing tool, so I just cut it off. And I already put the new one on. I also can't seem to find a way to tension this, so that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna take me a little bit. I'm probably not gonna be able to get it on camera because it's gonna be a lot of finagling, like going up through here. I really should probably find out how to tension this because it's really close right now. I thought it would be like a blaster where it has little adjusters, but I don't see any, and I didn't do any research. That's also a fun little surprise. There's a plug in the sidewall, so that's great. Anyway, I'm gonna play with this a bit more. Well, I figured it out, and you don't need to comment to tell me I'm stupid. So you loosen these 4 bolts for the carrier, and then you use this collar here to tighten and loosen the chain. I made it tight-ish. There's a good chance it's gonna stretch. I don't know if O-ring chain is known for that. Either way, I made it tight enough that I can run right now, and then I can always tighten it more if needed. So yeah, we're good back here. I can go ahead and put the rear cowl back on, put some gas in it, and just see what it does. It will not idle. I guess I'll, oh, there we go. It smells like burning leaves, or there we go. Did it on its own. Let it sit a second, check that level, and then add accordingly if needed. Oil level is lower than it was previously, which is not a bad thing. Still on the dipstick by quite a bit, but I'm gonna add some more just to be safe. Now that's had a good probably 20 minutes of runtime. I need to now drain the warm oil and also find out if my drain plug even works. So I'm not gonna tell you the size of this one because this is not what the factory one is, more than likely. Okay, it's aerated, but it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look to be metallic in any way. You know, it's a little dark, but I also did put Marvel in there deliberately to clean up any gunk. Yeah, nothing on the magnet. That's awesome. I'm just gonna let it run now, let it drain rather,
and pull the filter off the other side. It was dark, but not bad at all. It doesn't say what brand, so who knows. The Honda filter looks exactly the same as the one I took out, and it has a date of 2K22. So is that February of 22? And in which case, does C609 mean 2009? I'm gonna say that is a date, in which case this thing hasn't had service since 2009, which, given how everything looked fluid-wise, I'm actually willing to believe that. Towards filter cover, towards spring side. Just like, I guess I should put the filter on the housing to keep it all happy. And I noticed there are 2 oil passage holes here. So I'm lining up, there's one here and one right there. So you just, line them up. And if you have it wrong, everything in grenades. So. Okay, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up. The bike is fully serviced, or as fully as I'm gonna be bothered. They could probably still use a valve adjustment, and I gotta figure out the fueling issue, but all in all, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. At this point, I'm saying I'm gonna keep it, in which case there will be modification videos in the future, because this is not how I would leave it. But for now, you'll just see it in the back of videos. You can't miss it. It's horrific looking. And we'll just move on to other projects. All the parts and links should be in the description. If I'm missing anything, let me know. And other than that, thanks for watching and stay tuned. Well, it looks great. That's spectacular, actually. Like, there's nothing. Oh. I'm also told these carrier bearings. I'm also told the carrier bearing. Bleh. You see how? No, you don't. You don't see anything. Is this gonna get on there? Hello?